this processus vaginalis remains patent. So this is known as patent processus vaginalis. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Dr. S.V. Gupta. I am a minimal access surgeon and a general surgeon. I have done MCH in minimal access surgery from AIIMS, New Delhi. During embryonic period, the testis lies retroperitoneally. So this is just a coronal section of showing the same. So testis lies retroperitoneally in the lumbar region, and then it descend along this pathway to go into the scrotal region. So there is a peritoneal covering partially the testis because it is retroperitoneal in nature. So what happens is that the testis is also connected to the scrotum with help of a stalk, with help of a fibromuscular band which is known as gubernaculum testis. So let me label these for you. So this is around 3 months intrauterine life. What happens is when testis start developing, it also start descending. So then it lies somewhere near the inguinal canal at the location, and it also tried to pull a part of peritoneum along with it. It tried to pull a part of peritoneum along with it during the descent, and this gubernaculum testis, this keep on contracting so that there is a testicular descent. So once the testicular descent is complete, then it lies into the scrotal sac. It goes into the scrotal sac, and it pulls up the part of the peritoneum also. The testis goes into the scrotum like this, and it pulls a part of the peritoneum along with it. And there is a saccular structure around the testis like this, and it remains connected with the gubernaculum stalk even in adult life. So then after some times, what happens is that this connection disappears. And this obliterates. This is known as processus vaginalis. And this part which is made up of processus vaginalis is tunica vaginalis sac now. This is tunica vaginalis sac. This processus vaginalis remains patent. So this is known as patent processus vaginalis. If there is some embryonic problem. So the abdominal content which are lying there, like colon, which are lying there, or even small bowel, they can herniate through this. And it may be present at the birth, which is known as congenital hernia. So the pathophysiological basis of congenital hernia and congenital hydrocele is same. You'll find that in both congenital hydrocele as well as in hernia, there is pathology of patent processus vaginalis. Processus vaginalis, which should have been disappeared, it remains patent, but there is a minor difference. In hernia, the patency of the processus vaginalis is wide enough to allow the abdominal content. The patency of the abdominal content, the intestine go easily with this, along with the peritoneal fluid. This is seen in congenital hernia. But in congenital hydrocele, the patency is very narrow. Which allows only fluid to trickle in. So only fluid content can go in, and the patent processus vaginalis is narrow. Therefore, the surgery of both congenital hernia as well as congenital hydrocele is same, that we obliterate this patent processus vaginalis by doing a herniotomy. So even the congenital, the name is hydrocele. Despite that, the surgical procedure of choice is herniot. This is congenital hernia. In acquired hernia, once there is a intra-abdominal pressure, So there is no patent processus vaginalis in acquired hernia, but due to increased intra-abdominal pressure here, so the content herniates, and it also takes part of peritoneum along with it, which is again known as sac of the hernia. So this is how the hernia occurs. If you put your finger and put your two examining finger around the cord like this, then you will feel these content here. You will be able to feel these content here at the top of the scrotum, where you palpate the spermatic cord. So this test is known as you cannot get above the swelling. If you palpate at the top of the scrotum where it is connected to the spermatic cord, because of the many content lying here, you may not be able to get above the swelling in acquired hernia, and even in congenital hernia also. The acquired hydrocele is a problem of tunica vaginalis sac only. So it has the acquired hydrocele has no connection with the peritoneal cavity. There is enlargement of the tunica vaginalis sac here, and there is a fluid. So once you palpate at the top of the scrotum, you will be able to feel only spermatic content. This test is known as to be able to get above the swelling. That is why in pure scrotal swelling, which has got no connection with the abdomen, which has got no connection to the groin region, that is inguinal-scrotal swelling, you will not be able to get above the swelling. While in pure scrotal swelling, because the spermatic cord is not there is no sac here, and there is no bowel content or omental content here. In pure scrotal swelling, you will be able to get above the swelling, while in inguinal-scrotal swelling, you will not be able to get above the swelling. Hydrocele में क्या problem होती है? Any pure scrotal swelling में only the scrotal component will get enlarged and there will be swelling, and there is no occupation of this region. In hernia, there is protrusion of content here. So once you palpate here at this level, you will be able to get above the swelling in pure scrotal swelling. And in this swelling, which are inguinal-scrotal swelling, you will be able to get above the swelling in this, and you will not be able to get above the swelling in this. Thank you guys. This is the end of lecture. I hope you understood it well. Please like, share and subscribe so that I can reach to maximum number of students.